I begin?
Yes.
Greetings. My name is Michael Kraver, and I live at 4 Darby Court in White Plains. I am a son of White Plains and a proud product of its public schools. I've never lived on Hathaway Lane or any of the streets most directly impacted by this project. I have, though, lived in 3 different neighborhoods in White Plains. I grew up near the Highland School and lived in an apartment downtown before buying my current home. I'm also a parent of young children. As such, I spend lots of time around young parents who are deciding where to raise their families. Unfortunately, I repeatedly see evidence that White Plains has a problem attracting young parents to raise their families here. With that as context, I am here to speak against FASNY's project. I think the presence of another big private school in White Plains will hurt our public schools and make it even harder for us to attract young families looking for a place to settle. FASNY claims in a letter I received from them that their new mega school complex will attract new families to the neighborhood, which will help boost home values. This is coupled with a claim that FASNY's presence will have a positive impact on our public schools. The two issues are closely connected because many parents I speak to who don't view White Plains as a place to settle deem our public schools to be inadequate. My anecdotal experience is backed up by data of various types. I don't want to bore you with statistics, so I'll oversimplify. Westchester Magazine publishes data about local school districts, which shows a close correlation between a district's SAT scores, which largely drive the district's reputation, and household income in that district. Similarly, Redfin.com, an online brokerage service, recently studied this correlation between home value and public school performance. Redfin found, quote, "In the United States, housing prices in the zones of highly ranked public schools are remarkably higher than those served by lower ranked schools," unquote. Nonetheless, FASNY claims that it will help home values in White Plains. Apparently, that claim relates to their assertion that adding this private school will help our public schools. According to FASNY families will buy houses in White Plains and will pay school taxes to the city school district while having no impact on school enrollment. Under FASNY's logic, our public schools benefit each time a child in White Plains does not enroll in them. That logic is flawed. White Plains is a suburb, and suburban school districts have a symbiotic relationship with the communities they draw from. That's how it was for me growing up. White Plains was a wonderfully diverse city, and its public schools provided me with a great, unique place to learn because the diverse student body reflected our community. That's what I want our public schools to be for my children, the oldest of whom will be enrolling in kindergarten next year. I don't see my children as benefiting each time one of their neighbors signs up for private school. Let me be clear. Private schools have been a part of White Plains for many years. I'm well aware that many families in White Plains have sent their kids to private school while being involved members of our community. But there are 2 reasons why FASNY will not contribute to our community in the way our other private schools historically have. First, as has been discussed by other speakers, a significant percentage of FASNY's families plan to return to their permanent homes overseas within a few years. If they move to White Plains at all, it will likely only be temporarily. Second, while there have always been parents in White Plains who chose not to send their children to our public schools, they were never so numerous as to jeopardize the connection between our school district and our city. Today, White Plains is approaching a dangerous tipping point. If more children in White Plains attend private school, we risk depriving our public schools of the diversity that makes them special. If that happens, the critical link between our community and our school district will be severed with terrible consequences for both. FASNY is asking for this special permit at a time when many of my peers already see White Plains as a place where parents with money all choose private school. Thankfully, this is largely a misperception, but it persists because there's an element of truth to it. Making sure this misperception does not become reality is, in my eyes, our city's most urgent challenge. White Plains is not New York City, where property values can rise over time, fueled largely by people who feel no connection to its public schools. White Plains already has many great private schools: OLS, the German School, St. John's, Salmon Schechter, Good Counsel, and Stepanak, among others. We should not be demapping part of Hathaway Lane to solidify our city's reputation as the private school capital of Westchester. That would exacerbate our city's most critical problem: difficulty recruiting and retaining young families. For those reasons, as well as many others I don't have time to address, I urge you to vote against FASNY's project.
Thank you, Mr. Kraver. Folks, okay, call 2. And